in the shadow of the old oak tree, where the creek sings low, we carved our names, young and bold, in the bark, whispering so. Underneath that heaven stretch, where wild horses roam, I told you dreams of dusty trails, not yet knowing about the roads we'd comb. But unspoken words, they burn like the western sunset's glow, leaving shadows neath my eyes where your laughter used to flow. And every gust of prairie wind carries whispers sweet and stern of what I should have said, for those bridges learned to burn. Now the porch creek's empty, where your scarf once danced and breezed, and the saddle lays forgotten, with no one left to please. The cabin's bare as the desert's soul, the gravel road's been tamed, just echoes of your footsteps in a town that forgot my name. Unspoken words, they burn like the western sunset's glow, leaving shadows neath my eyes where your laughter used to flow. And every gust of prairie wind carries whispers sweet and stern of what I should have said, for those bridges learned to burn. Now where rivers run, the willows weep, and time peels at the barn, I learned that love's a keeper of the flame that never warms. Could those whispered winds, my darling, to your heart return? Or do they wander lost like me beneath the stars that yearn? So unspoken words, they burn like the western sunset's glow, fading trails and twilight's dust, where our memories refuse to go. The night's cold blanket falls, the coyote lonely yearns for unspoken words that echo deep in the fire that always burns. Where the oak tree shadows are drawn by a lonesome hill, where our dreams were born, old cabin's door swings with whispered tales, echoes of laughter, love's sweet exhales. Under that porch where the sunset bled, we carved our names, now faded and dead. The gravel road that led to our start still guides a trail of a broken heart. Lonesome hills shut the door on the past, whisper to winds how I thought we'd last. In the dust, in the rain, I roam free, but your ghost in the shadows follows me. Years slip like water through thirsty hands, wide prairie skies turn to harsher lands. That oak has grown, standing tall and proud, its roots buried deep, unlike our vow. The scarf you left still dances in the breeze, frayed at the edges like old memories, each thread a testament to what's now lost, woven in the fabric of the cost. Lonesome hills shut the door on the past, whisper to winds how I thought we'd last. In the dust, in the rain, I roam free, but your ghost coyotes call. I find solace knowing I loved it all. Lonesome hill, close the door, let me be. In the silence, find strength from you, I flee. And under vast skies where old ghosts implore, I'll ride alone, always, forevermore. Let the dust rise, let the shadows fall. Lonesome hill, in your echo I recall. Out where the red oak stands, guarding the dusty plains, there's an old house that lingers beneath the skies of gray. Creaking on its porch, it holds secrets of the breeze, where we once watched the sunset, you, the mountains, and me. Oh, the wind still whispers your name through the door. Old house moans neath the weight of the love we wore. Every plank and nail, soaked with the rains of time, aches with the memory of when you were mine. Years have rolled like tumbleweeds past this broken trail. Your scarf still hangs on the hook, faded, worn, and frail. That old saddle rests untouched where you left it last, by the empty cabin in the shadows that you cast. Oh, the wind still whispers your name through the door. Old house groans neath the weight of the love we wore. Every plank and nail, soaked with the rains of time, aches with the memory of when you were mine. Underneath the starlit cloak I roam these lands alone. Echoes of our laughter in the twilight softly moan. I've wandered far, yet here's where my weary heart stays, in the quiet whispers of those golden bygone days. Yes, the wind still whispers your name, a haunting, tender sore. Old house stands neath the sky, bearing the love we bore. Every sunrise and set paints your face in the divine, lost in the forever where you're eternally mine. Oh, this old house lingers like the heart I can't restore. Out where the oak trees shadow the dusty roads bend, I first saw her smile, wild as the wind in her hair. We danced under stars, on old porches we'd spend those fleeting sweet summers without a single care. The gravel path whispered of where our dreams might have led, in that quiet town where our love was declared. But the timeless road lingers and I'm riding alone, where the wind whispers of the wind speak only of her gone. Each sunset bleeds memories, in the twilight they groan on this long, lonely trail where my heart finds no home. The years spun like dust devils, wild and untamed. The cabin sits empty where laughter once reigned. Her scarf still hangs on the oak, faded unnamed, a relic of passion, now just sorrow retained. Rain taps like soft footsteps across the window pane, echoing the silence where absence remains. Yes, the timeless road lingers, and I'm riding alone, where the whispers of the wind speak only of her gone. Each sunset bleeds memories, in the twilight they groan on this long, lonely trail where my heart finds no home. Now the saddle's worn thin like the soles of my boots, every step and each mile threading back to her roots. In dreams she's the echo of old forgotten tunes, a dance in the shadow, a ghost at high noon. Still this timeless road lingers, and I'm riding alone, haunted by the silence where laughter once roamed. Sunset's last light fading like the warmth from a stone on this long, lonely trail, her memory etched in my bones. So I'll ride these old trails where our wild dreams once flew, beneath vast starlit skies that we once knew. And though time may pass and the night slips to blue, this timeless road lingers, ever old, ever new. There's an old flannel shirt in the bottom drawer, weathered and worn like the soul it wore through the whispering oaks near the creek it knew, beneath the vast restless skies of blue. I can still see her there, laughing wild and free in that sunset glow forever etched in me. Flannel shirt whispers soft and low, they sing of a love lost long ago. Under wide western skies I roam apart, with the echoes of her laughter haunting my heart. Once we dreamed on a dusty gravel road, plans like the wildflowers around us sowed, but seasons turned from gold to gray, and that storm rolled in, took her far away. Now the porch swings empty, the cabin's cold, with only memories for me to hold. Flannel shirt whispers soft and low, they sing of a love lost long ago. Under wide western skies I roam apart, with the echoes of her laughter haunting my heart. I roam these hills like a shadow in the rain, each drop a syllable spelling out rustle of the leaves or the wind's sad song is where the heart of a wandering man belongs. Flannel shirt whispers, an old refrain echoing through the pines like a sweet, soft pain. I'll ride these trails where the wild winds dart, with her whispers wrapped tight around my heart. Flannel shirt whispers never let me go. In the silence of the night, they're the only love I know. In the shadow of the oak, where the wild rivers bend, I found your scarf, the color of the sunset's end. We danced 'neath starlit skies, so reckless and so young, where our whispers mingled with the songs that kites sung. Oh, my heart wore a brim like the hat that flew with the wind, chasing the dust down old gravel roads where our dreams had been. Now every sunset bleeds just a shade of what it's been since my hat flew with the wind. Now the porch swing creaks along where your laughter filled the air. Those empty cabins moan with the ghost of every care. The saddle's worn and dry, like the tears I've learned to hide. On the trails we used to ride, now I wander far and wide. Yes, my heart wore a brim like the hat that flew with the wind, chasing the dust down old gravel roads where our dreams had been. Now every sunset bleeds just a shade of what it's been since my hat flew with the wind. Sky where the eagle used to soar, I've come to realize I can't hold you anymore. But in the whispering breeze, in the rustling of the leaves, your memory softly weaves through everything I grieve. Still my heart wears a brim like the hat that flew with the wind, chasing the dust down old gravel roads where our dreams had been. Every sunset bleeds just a shade of what it's been. Oh, how my hat flew with the wind. Guess I'll always be just as lost as that old hat in the wind. Stood in the back of the chapel pews, wore my cleanest boots, old Sunday blues. You walked the aisle in satin white while I hid pain behind polite. Your mama smiled, your daddy cried. The preacher spoke of groom and bride, and I just sipped my flask real slow, trying not to let my sorrow show. She married someone else today, and I just smiled and walked away. No toast, no tears, no loud regret, just memories I can't forget. I let her go like a man should do, but Lord knows I still bled through. I clapped my hands, I wished her well, while dying quietly in my shell. We danced once back in 22, under fairground lights and sky so blue. She said forever, I said too, but sometimes always don't pull through. Now he holds the hand I used to kiss, and she wears pride, not cowardice. Guess he gave what I could not, a little piece, a better shot. She married someone else today, and I just stood too proud to stay. I drove off slow with the windows down, let my heart ache fill this town. She was my flame, she chose the rain, and I'm just learning to love the pain. So if you ask, I'll never tell. She married someone else. They threw rice and I threw smiles, but deep inside I ran for miles. She married someone else today, and I still feel her drift away. But I won't beg, I won't complain, just raise my glass to love's remains. Let her believe I'm doing fine, even if I'm breaking line by line. She's gone for good, and I can't dwell, 'cause she married someone else. And I stood there like hell. She said goodbye with her boots still warm, didn't take the picture on the barn, left her coat but not her scent, and I knew damn well what goodbye meant. Didn't fight, didn't raise my tone, just lit a smoke and watched her go. A man don't beg when love's run dry, but damn, a whiskey don't lie. So I ride through dust and bitter sky with nothing but the truth in rye. The bottle's blunt but honest still, it tells me what she never will. She's gone for good, no alibi, and God knows whiskey don't lie. I passed the creek where we first kissed. The wind don't whisper like it did. The porch lights out, the dogs moved on. The house still stands, but love is gone. They say you'll heal with time and road, but broken wheels don't carry load. So I pour pain and glass on high, 'cause hell, whiskey don't lie. Favorite song, but everything she loved is gone. She won't come back, I don't ask why, 'cause the burn says it clear, whiskey don't lie. talked to the wind, and I drank slow, 'cause I learned slow that not all love is meant to grow. So here's to love that didn't last, to dreams that faded way too fast, to nights I held her like the sun and woke to find she'd come undone. You can't outrun a farewell cry, and no damn bottle ever lied. Out by the old split rail where the bluebells sleep, an oak tree stands scars deep where hearts once spoke. Beneath its shade our whispered dreams did weep, in the dust of dawn where our love awoke. I wore a grin wide as a river's bend, your scarf a fluttering red against the sky. Promises as endless as the land we tend, now just a cracked frame that flew with the July. Oh, my heart rides these winds, a lonesome sound, over gravel roads where our laughter's drowned. Sunset bleeds like the tears we used to shed, underneath the endless aching sky we wed. I came upon that cabin, walls now lean, the porch still groans under the weight of ghosts. Once a haven, our secluded evergreen, now it whispers with the solitude it holds. The saddle sits untouched by time's harsh gale, as if waiting for your gentle hand's return. But the trails we rode together have grown pale, in the silence even the bravest fires burn. Oh, my heart rides these winds, a lonesome sound, over gravel roads where our laughter's drowned. Sunset bleeds like the tears we used to shed, underneath the endless aching sky we wed. In the quiet towns where shadows play, I find pieces of you slipping through the fray. A dance, a glance, a smile once shared, lost in the winds like dust unpaired. So my heart rides these winds, a lonesome sound, every sunset a memory, as the world spins round. A cracked frame, a fleeting whisper, a love once read, beneath the boundless aching sky forever we tread. Cracked frame flew with the wind, my love, my lament. In this saddle alone my heart's forever spent. With the dust I ride into the sunset's glow, where our soul song plays on and never will I know. Out where the oak tree shadow lays long, by the creek where the wild winds have blown, I carved two hearts, yours and mine, in the bark, where whispers stay hidden 'neath stars stark. Footprints fade where we danced unshaken, On that porch by the hills, God-forsaken, storm burns like my heart tonight in the cold, empty cabin's fading light. Your scarf in my hand, scent worn thin as the dust hushes the ghost of your grin. How the rain recalls every farewell in the whispering wind. I still dwell. Time turned those gravel roads, grew wide. The quiet town slept as something inside me died. Old laughter haunts the saloons, creaking floors, echoes of steps that aren't ours anymore. That old saddle now just gathers dust, like the memories succumbing to rust. Storm burns like my heart tonight in the cold, empty cabin's fading light. Your scarf in my hand, scent worn thin as the dusk hushes the ghost of your grin. How the rain recalls every farewell in the whispering wind. I still dwell underneath the vast indigo skies. I reckon each star mirrors your eyes. The trails we blaze now overgrown in the wilderness. I roam alone. Storm burns and I'm still reaching out through the shadows of doubt, the route of our old route. May the horizon where sunsets bleed hold you close, far beyond my meager creed. Every twilight, your absence I mourn in the silence after the storm. I still dwell. I still dwell. Out by the creek where the cottonwoods grow, we carved our names in the bark so low. The summer wind through the branches would sway those whispers of love now far away. An old oak tree bears the scars we made under its shade. Our promises lay, memory washed away like dust down a lonesome road. Each step I take farther from the love I've known. The sunset bleeds, colors all turn to gray in the heart of a cowboy, where night meets the day. Memory washed away with the rain on the old porch swing. This wandering soul beneath the stars no longer sings. The cabin sits empty where laughter once filled the air. Now just echoes of your voice linger there. Your scarf on the hook still smells like spring rain. My heart holds the ache like the plains hold the plains down the gravel path where our dreams used to play. Only shadows remain as the light fades away. Memory washed away like dust down a lonesome road. Each step I take farther from the love I've known. The sunset bleeds, colors all turn to gray in the heart of a cowboy, where night meets the day. Memory washed away This wandering soul beneath the stars no longer sings. And oh, how the rivers run to places new. What wouldn't I give for one more day with you? But time, like the dust, slips through these old hands, lost in the winds over these wild, wild lands. Memory washed away like tracks on the desert floor. Looking back, can't see them, not anymore. The sunset's fire, now just a cooling ash. Hold on to the heartache as long as it lasts. Memory washed away, but in my dreams you'll stay, whispering love on that windswept, forgotten day. Out here where the oak trees whisper low, under vast skies where the wild rivers flow, found a scarf you left on the old porch swing, faded red like the sunset promises spring. Each thread a tale, each color a burn on my heart, neath the star where we'd turn. Saddle burns in the dust of the road, lonely tracks where our stories were once told. Memories ride like shadows beside, under the moon, in the quiet where they hide. Could a man find peace in a wandering life, or just echoes of you and a heart cut by a knife? Gravel roads leading to empty cabins, old footprints gone in the dust, heart gone. Echoed laughs in the wind now just sighs, not even the rain can hide these tearful eyes. What once was a fire, now just smoky remains in the chill of the night, only silence explains. Saddle burns in the dust of the road, lonely tracks where our stories were once told. Memories ride like shadows beside, under the moon, in the quiet where they hide. Could a man find peace in a wandering life, or just echoes of you and a heart cut by a knife? Sometimes a whisper on the prairie comes clear, tales of times when love felt so near. A dance, a laugh, a kiss stolen in jest. Oh, these trails, how they put a soul to test. So saddle burns, or the scars of the past, grit and tears and moments that last. Letting go in the winds that sweep through, forever bound on these trails to the ghost of you. Hear the sigh of the night as it closes the day. A cowboy rides on, but his heart will stay. in the shadow of the oak, where our names are still carved. Whiskey sleeps in the flask, holding memory starved. I found her scarf faded red against the prairie dust, echoes of laughter lost in winds as the iron weathers to rust. Oh, whiskey sleeps, but my heart's wide awake under moonlit sorrows and the sun's forsaken ache. In the silence of the cabin where our loved ones danced, I roam like a shadow on these trails entranced. Gravel roads watch the taillights as you drove from this town, leaving echoes on the porch where we once settled down. The saddle sits empty where you rode by my side, through fields where the wildflowers reluctantly hide. Oh, whiskey sleeps, but my heart's wide awake under moonlit sorrows and the sun's forsaken ache. The rain taps like memories on the windows in vain, while I clutch at the ghost of your whisper like the last summer rain. Now the sun dips low like my dreams settling down, each sunset a closing curtain on the stage of this town. The oak tree still stands, but it's weeping sad tears for the man and the memories lost to the years. Oh, whiskey sleeps on the edge of my lips like a lullaby sung for an eclipse. And I know as the stars start to sweep in my heart your sweet love, it'll forever sleep. Farewell, my darling, in the deep embrace of the night, where whiskey sleeps and the world puts things right. Out where the oak trees whisper low beneath the vast unending skies, I found a worn-out leather saddle where my deepest heartache lies. By the creek where waters murmur, there's a scarf you left behind. Every thread a tale of summer when your hand was locked in mine. Oh, the winds of time blow through these plains, singing with the wild and free, but they carry dust that stings my eyes as I peer through what used to be. In the saddle haunts I linger, trapped in a love that time can't daunt. Every sunset paints your shadow on the trails we used to haunt. Years have rolled like thunder rumbling over distant stormy hills. The old porch we danced upon now silent, empty chills. The town once loud with laughter echoes with our whispered past. Gravel roads we roam together, now just pathways overgrown with grass. Oh, the winds of time blow through these plains, scented with the wild and free. But they carry dust that stings my eyes as I peer through what used to be. In the saddle haunts I linger, trapped in a love that time can't dawn. Every sunset paints your shadow on the trails we used to haunt. Underneath the vast prairie sky, let your memory dance. Rain washes over old regrets, gives a man a second chance. Yet every cabin, every star tells a story of our plight. In the heart of every wilderness, I face the cold, lonely night. So the winds of time blow through these plains, scented with the lost and free, carrying voices of yesterday, tying you forever to me. In the saddle haunts I reckon, some loves are ghosts we can't outrun. Every sunset's a reminder of the love I've never won. In a town where the oak trees whisper low under skies painted by fading lights glow, her laughter echoed soft and sweet along the dusty, windswept street. We shared dreams on that old porch swing in a world where her goodbye now sleeps. Oh, her goodbye sleeps under the starlit plains, where the wind sighs her name through the waving grains. Each sunset bleeds, a memory fades on lonely trails. My heart still waits in the silence of the cabins abandoned deep. There in the shadows, her goodbye sleeps. Years have worn the leather of my saddle hard. Gravel roads stretch endless, starred by the weeping rains on my brimmed hat. Echoing footsteps where we once sat. The scarf she left a token too steep in the world where her goodbye now sleeps. Oh, her goodbye sleeps under the starlit plains, where the wind cries her name through the weeping grains. Each sunset bleeds, a memory fades on lonely trails. My dreams still wait in the silence of the cabins abandoned deep. There in the shadows, her goodbye sleeps. Now the night grows cold as the fire dies to ember. A cowboy wanders, tries to remember the touch of a hand, the ghost of a kiss. How such simple love led to a void like this. Yes, her goodbye sleeps where the wild rivers meet, in the heart of the lands where our past retreats. As my song drifts over the empty plains, I ride alone with my heart's remains. In every sunset's final sweep, forever there, her goodbye sleeps. There in the silence, in the sand deep, bound to the land, 'Her goodbye sleeps. There in the silence, in the sand deep, bound to the land, 'Her goodbye sleeps. 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 ' where the oak tree shadows lay long on the ground. I first saw her wild hair go like the crown of a queen. Under that old porch, laughter was the sweetest sound. Where we carved our names, now just whispers in between. But the storm turned cold, the sky stole her golden light, leaving just shadows where we used to dance alone. That old scarf she left holds a scent of her tight. Now I wander these gravel roads forever thrown. The cabin stands empty where once it brimmed with dreams. Windows gaze like tired eyes watching seasons betray. The trail's overgrown where we chase fleeting streams. Her absence a quiet ghost in the dust where I lay. Yes, the storm turned cold, the sky stole her golden light, leaving just echoes where laughter filled the void. That old saddle's warm like my heart through endless nights. Under the moon's pale watch, my hopes forever alive. In the silence after rain, when the wind speaks soft and low, I feel her touch in the breeze that stirs the sycamore leaves. Maybe all that's left is a letting go, finding peace like the sunset in the warmth it weaves. Still the storm turned cold, and my heart bears the frost, a prairie fire in my soul for the love I've known and lost. These lands, they hold her in the quiet rustling gold, till I'm just a tale on these trails forever old. With every sun that sets, I learn to live with the ghost of her whisper in the wind on the path I chose the most. On the back roads where the oak trees guard the secrets, where our names were etched in bark now blurred by years, there's a whisper in the wind like mournful lyrics, spun by dust and sunset wrapped in old frontiers. An empty cabin holds the laughter we left hanging. Faded curtains dance to tunes of yesterday. Every gravel path we walk now seems so straining, since the winds of time have blown your scent away. Back road whispers calling through the twilight, my heart rides every trail we used to roam, with the loneliness of stars in the deep night. Those silent roads forever now my home. The porch still creaks under my worn-out boots tread. Remnants of the rain like tears the wood has caught. This saddle here where once your scarf had laid its head now just holds the weight of dreams that time forgot. A town that once thrummed with our laughter now just echoes. Rooms filled with the ghost of your tender, fleeting touch. In the solitude of dawn, my heart still reckons with the emptiness no new love can unclutch. Back road whispers calling through the twilight. My heart rides every trail we used to roam, with the loneliness of stars in the deep night. Those silent roads forever now my home. So I'll saddle up though the north wind feels much colder. Ride the shadow trails where our memories lay thick. Each hoofbeat drums a beat upon my shoulder of every whispered promise we couldn't stick. Back road whispers, now my soul companions, echoes of a love that's drifting like the foam beneath the vast unyielding starlit canyons. I ride the whispering roads forever home. They say in time even cowboys find their pardons, but on these back road whispers I roam alone. On the edge of quiet town, neath the shadows of the oaks, she laughed while the porch swing danced to tunes we never spoke. That old scarf she left behind still dances in the wind. Each thread a whispered memory of days that never end. Her goodbye died young on that gravel road where the sunset bleeds and the cold winds blow. I ride these trails alone with the dust. Her laughter echoes in every speck of dust. The cabin stands empty where we once dreamed aloud. Windows stare blankly at the encroaching shroud. Our love, like the leather of my worn-out saddle, grew weathered and faded, lost in the battle. Her goodbye died young on that gravel road where the sunset bleeds and the cold rains flow. I trace old paths where her footsteps swing. Under the oak tree, only silence remains. Oh, the oak tree knows how long I've stood, roots deep in sorrow, misunderstood. The horizon with its fiery hue, but every fading light just brings me back to you. Her goodbye died young, but her spirit flies over wild lands beneath these aching skies. I'll carry her song, a soft and lonesome sound, in the heart of a cowboy where true love is bound. On that old porch swing, I'll sway till it's found. Under the shadow of an old oak tree, I carved our names for eternity, with the sunset bleeding through the leaves. That old porch whisper, the soft sweet tease. Your scarf caught the prairie wind that day, in a town where time found a place to stay. But now the empty bed fades under moonlit shades, where your laughter echoed in night's embrace. And these halls just whisper silent prayers, oh, for one more dance in our moonlit glares. Now gravel roads where my weary tread, echoes of your steps in my head. That cabin corner where you used to spend stands quiet like the silence of my sin. The trail we walk now overgrown, with the dust we kick now fully sown. The empty bed fades under starry blaze, where your warmth once battled the frost invades. My soul just whispers your sweet name in the lonely call of the wild untamed. By the riverside, where the willows weep, I see your reflection in waters deep. Every stone and every bend marks the tale of us that could never end. Yet still the empty bed fades in the dust cascades, each night a shadow where our memory waits. I'll walk these lands under skies so vast, holding on to love as long as it can last. by the old creek, where oak trees cast shadows long, I first heard her laughter in the summer sweet song. We danced under starlight where the wild horses roam, in that dusty town, once a place we called home. Her voice rolled through the wind, clear and true, whispering secrets in the morning dew. Every sunset paints her silhouette, but she's a ghost I can't hold. Her voice rode through my dreams in the night so cold. Years roll like the tumbleweeds, past cabins worn and old, gravel roads forgotten, tales of love untold. The scarf she left behind on the porch swing sways, a remnant of her presence in those golden days. Her voice rode through the wind, a haunting melody in the rustle of the leaves. She's still calling me. Every sunset hides a face in shades of gold and blue. Her voice rode through my heart, but she's a song I once knew. Now the prairie's wide and the night stretch out ahead. Sleep doesn't visit the pillow where I lay my head, searching for her echoes in the valleys and the peaks. My soul rides endless trails that her memory seeks. Her voice rode through the wind, never to be found, across those silent plains where our hopes were bound. In